Hi, y'all. A bit of a different kind of video today. I had this idea to do a bingo sheet for what I thought was going to show up in the rest of the War for Cybertron trilogy toy line. Basically, discounting everything that's already out in Siege and all the stuff that's in Earthrise already or that's been officially announced. So I thought it would be a fun idea to kind of like go through what I think might show up just based on the patterns that we've seen in the Siege toy line and what we have so far in Earthrise. I don't know, just a bit of a quarantine boredom. Figured that this could be fun for people to do. So I'll post the sort of blank bingo sheet in the comments. And if you want to, you can fill it out yourself and then see how it goes once we start getting more news about the toy line. So to start off, I've got TF Wiki pulled up. I kind of want to look at the MicroMasters because those are sort of the ones that I've been speculating on the most. Because if you look at Siege, for example, basically we got all 6 of the original MicroMaster Patrol teams from 1989, I believe. Is that right? Yeah, 1989 in Siege. So they weren't doing all 4 members from each team. They're just doing 2 from each team, obviously. So we got, Stormcloud and Whisper, who is now Vesper in Airstrike Patrol. We got Flak and Big Shot, who's like Top Shot or something in Battle Patrol, and so on. So like we got 2 from basically each of these teams. And then I'm not really looking at exclusive stuff right now. Like we got that 10-pack that filled in some of these gaps for people, but I'm more looking at like what's going to be showing up in the main line. So since all of these guys were covered in Siege, I think we got 9 sets of them total, including 6, which are these 6, right? So each of the original patrols. We got the 2 Soundwave cassette basically teams, and then we also got our first MicroMaster combiners in Direct Hit and Power Punch from over here. And now in Earthrise, the first ones that we got were 2 members of the Hot Rod Patrol, 2 members of the Military Patrol, and the ones that have been announced are 2 members of the Racetrack Patrol and 2 members of the Astro Squad, making our second combiner. So if you look at what's left in terms of the teams from 1989 to 1990, there actually are basically 9 things left over. Or not 9 left over, but we got 9 in Siege, right? 9 sets of them. And then so far in Earthrise, we've gotten 2, and then there's 2 more that have been announced, so that's 4, and there are 5 left over, which is the Air Patrol, the Construction Patrol, Monster Truck Patrol, the Constructor Squad, and the Metro Squad. So starting off from that, I think that we're probably going to be getting 2 members of each of these teams. So I kind of want to dive into those and sort of guess which ones I think are likely. Just based on my general knowledge of trademark stuff and the trends we've been seeing with the guys that we've gotten so far, which I'm no expert in. I haven't done like a bunch of extra research in the trademarks or anything like that. Just basically what I think, right? So I'm going to start off actually with the Monster Truck Patrol. So we got our 4 members, which I presume we're getting 2 of. Big Hauler, Heavy Tread, Hydraulic, and Slowpoke. So right off the bat, I want to count out Slowpoke. Slowpoke here, you can see he turns into this little crane monster truck thing. I think that they might have issues trademarking that because Slowpoke is a Pokemon. So I'm going to guess that Slowpoke's probably not one of the ones we're going to get. Heavy Tread seems to be like a name that they use a lot as kind of like filler Transformers. So that seems like a trademark that they've probably had recently. So I'm going to guess that Heavy Tread is probably going to be one of our guys. And then from there, I think, either Big Hauler or Hydraulic, obviously. I think in terms of doing a Monster Truck Patrol, they'd probably want someone who's a bit more of a traditional monster truck. So I think that they would probably go with Hydraulic over Big Hauler. But I don't know. I could go either way on that. But just because I think I'd rather Hydraulic, I'm going to put in that one for now. So my guesses here are going to be Heavy Tread and Hydraulic. I think Heavy Tread I'm feeling pretty likely about Heavy Tread, so I'm going to put him kind of in line with the free space. And then Hydraulic, yeah, I'll put him, yeah. And you know what? Actually, I think I want to flop those. All right. Next, I'm going to move over to who do I think is more likely? I think that they're going to be doing more of these combiners. So let's look at the Constructor Squad. Starting off here, Stone Cruncher and Excavator. They turn into that like hook truck. I don't think that's terribly interesting, and I think Excavator might be a difficult one to get a trademark on. And I'm kind of following that same logic for Sledge and Hammer, because like those are two such generic words. I don't think they'll be able to get the trademarks. Now they have Knockout, and so I don't know if this really is going in favor of Knockout and Grit being chosen in the Constructor Squad or against it, because Knockout since G1 has gotten a new sort of personality where they had him in Prime and he was a really popular character. So they might not want to just reassign him to a Micromaster. Like I noticed that when they announced the ones for the Racetrack Patrol, they chose not to do Barricade because they now made that new Deluxe Barricade. So they're kind of like retconning him as a more important character. And we haven't seen anything, like we've only seen stuff from Prime and like the IDW comments on Knockout, but I think that the other ones are so unlikely that I'm kind of in favor of guessing that Grit and Knockout would be the ones. It's the most interesting looking vehicle out of all of them. I don't know. Maybe they'll do something like just make it Sledgehammer and then do Grit or something like that to avoid doing Knockout. But for now, I think I'm going to do Grit and Knockout. Grit I'm feeling good about. So I'm going to put him here. And then Knockout. Looking at the Metro Squad, right off the bat, this one's a little bit easier because Wheelblaze is one of the options. And now we already actually got Wheelblaze in the Target exclusive Micromaster 10-pack. So I don't think they're going to be doing Wheelblaze and Roadburner, which leaves us with Oiler and Slide or Power Run and Strike Down. And Oiler and Slide seem like ones that would be probably harder to trademark, so I'm going to put my guess on Power Run and Strike Down. That does it for the combiners, so let's move over to the Construction Patrol. Ground Pounder, I know they had a few years ago, so they might do him. And, you know, with these ones, it was a little bit easier to figure out because, like, they have to do two that pair together, you know, like they did Phaser and Blastmaster because those two become the shuttle, and then Direct Hit and Power Punch become that. So, like, these ones are in groups, but these ones, it could be any one of them. Like, they don't necessarily have to pair up. I'm kind of thinking, I'm liking Ground Pounder as an option here. Takedown. I mean, Takedown and Crumble are kind of boring. It could be Crumble, but Neutro is also a good option. He's a bulldozer, but maybe they're going to think that a bulldozer and like a front end loader are a little bit too similar. So I'm kind of leaning towards Crumble and Ground Pounder. I'm feeling more confident about Ground Pounder, and then Crumble I'll put up here. Okay, then lastly, that leaves the Air Patrol. So Eagle Eye and Sky High are the two that sort of match in color, right? Blazemaster is a helicopter, which I think is kind of interesting. And then Treadbolt. I like Treadbolt. I kind of want to see Treadbolt. So I don't know if I really have a lot to go off of on these ones. So I'm just gonna toss in Treadbolt. And then I kind of feel like they'll do one of the ones that doesn't match. So I'm gonna go with Sky High, who, again, I'm not feeling overly confident on either of those, so I'll put them kind of out of line with the free space. All right. So that kind of does it for the Micromasters. So now looking at the other trends in the line, we've been getting a lot of Season 1 and Season 2 of the original cartoon stuff. So I kind of think they're going to be doing more there. Now, we're getting a new smoke screen. So do we think that they're doing another Prowl and Blue Streak? Because they did Prowl and Siege, and they did Blue Streak in the 35th anniversary, but they also did Smokescreen as part of the Gen Select. So, I mean, can they do the Cybertron modes of those guys and then do them all again? I kind of don't think they're going to be doing all of them. It sort of feels likely that we'll be getting Prowl, because Prowl is like one of the main cast Autobots. So I feel like an Earth mode Prowl might be coming. I'll do Earth Prowl to differentiate the one from Siege. I'd like to see Jazz. We haven't really been shown any indication that we'd be getting Jazz, but if you look at the rest of our G1 Autobots, we're kind of getting all of them, like aside from the mini bots. We'll get to those in a second, but like we got Blue Streak, we got Hound, we got Ironhide, we got Mirage, we got Prowl, we got Wheeljack, we're getting Trailbreaker and Sunstreaker, we got Sideswipe, and we got Ratchet. So Jazz kind of seems like an obvious choice. So I'm gonna toss in Jazz down here. Now moving over to the mini bots, Brawn, Bumblebee, I don't think we're getting Bumper. Cliff Jumper, Gears, Huffer, and Windcharger. So we got Cliff Jumper. So I think Bumblebee has been showing up on packaging art. He's been prominent in the comics. I think we're getting a Bumblebee. And like I said in my Cliff Jumper review, just the design of the arms on Cliff Jumper were more of like a design cue from Bumblebee from the cartoon than Cliff Jumper. So I think Bumblebee is pretty likely. Do I think we're getting the other mini bots as like small deluxes? Gears, Huffer, and Windcharger. Oh, and Brawn. We have gotten recently a couple different Windchargers, so I kind of don't think they're going to do him. Brawn, we got semi-recently. We got him in Power of the Primes. Gears and Huffer, we haven't really gotten good ones in a while. And they've just been like repaints of other guys. So I think I'm gonna toss Huffer and maybe by extension Pipes into the game. And then Gears. Yeah, I'll put Gears up here. I think that's going to do it for what we're probably getting from the original guys, because I'm not going to put Skywarp and Thundercracker because we just got the announcement that they'd be in a 2-pack. Oh, but I guess the Coneheads haven't been like officially announced yet, so we could put those on here. I do think we're getting the Coneheads. We have good spots for them. Yeah, let's put Thrust. All right, who else from Season 2? I don't think we're getting any of the Season 2 mini-bots because we got pretty good versions of all of those recently. The only one that we haven't gotten a version of in a while is Warpath. We got the one repaint of the Legends Megatron mold, so they might try to do a smaller scale Warpath because, like, as an official, like, Warpath, like the mold just for him, we haven't seen it since, like, Generations way back when. And that's a great mold, but it does seem like they were trying to take the smaller guys and put them in a smaller scale. And even though they don't have like Legends or Scout classes now, they're still doing that with Cliff Jumper. So it's possible we could get a new Warpath who's smaller. I think since I'm kind of running out of options, I'll put Warpath somewhere. Is there another spot that's not in line? I like Gears more than Warpath, so not as a character, but as a prospect. So I'm gonna do that. So Gears is in line. How many does that leave us left? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So we could fill that in with a couple more Micromasters. Oh, you know what? You know someone who I think we're getting? I think we're getting Crankcase because they've been slowly giving us those Ravengers from Ravengers. I can't remember what they're called. From the IDW comics. In Titan's Return, we got Croc and Misfire, and Misfire made total sense to put in there, but I don't think they really had to do Croc. So it seemed like that was a nod to the IDW guys. They did the fan poll where they gave us the option to get Spinister, and he wasn't voted for, and then they did him anyway, and we got Flywheels. So I think that Crankcase is coming. And then in that same line, I want to say we'll probably be getting a Needlenose, because Needlenose was another one that they had the poll for, and then he was voted against. But like I said, we still got Wheeljack and we still got Spinister, and I don't remember who Needlenose was paired up with, but I think that Needlenose is likely. Especially since they do seem to be doing some of the Target Master guys, even though they're not packing in their Target Masters with them. 2 more. All right. Who's another one that I think is likely? Well, we've got which one? I can never remember. Is it Runabout is the white one or Runamuck is the white one? Because we're definitely getting the other one, even though it hasn't been announced yet. Okay, and who is the last one? I might throw in someone from season 3 because we did seem to get a lot of season 1 guys in Siege, and then we do seem to be getting a lot of season 2 guys in Earthrise. And, you know, there's crossplay in between there, and we're getting RC in Earthrise 2 and the Quintessons. I kind of think that we're going to be getting new versions of maybe Blur or Cup or Hot Rod. We did get Ultra Magnus already. I kind of think that Hot Rod is the most likely one. I say that because the general trend in this trilogy with leader class figures is that they're not really doing leader class figures. They're doing Voyager figures that come with enough accessories to be considered leader class. And I think we could be seeing that with Hot Rod and Rodimus Prime by like giving him that trailer. Like this seems like the toy line to do it. So I think my last one is going to be Hot Rod / Rodimus. Oh, but then there's the weaponizers. Shoot, I totally forgot about them. Because they probably are going to be doing more of those, right? So we had Ironworks and we're getting Airwave. So where were the other ones? Yeah, I kind of think that Hothouse and Grease Pit are likely. Sort of feels like they wouldn't stop at just the 2 of those. So what are my least likely guys here? I think probably Warpath and Gears are the ones that I'm going to take out. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm sitting right now as my guesses. I'd love to see what you guys come up with like on your own for other versions of this. And I don't have like a ton of subscribers right now, but I don't know. I think it would be kind of fun to see like what people really think and hearing people's reasoning behind why they think stuff is going to be coming in. So I apologize if I'm not up to date on any of these, like if any of these things have been announced. I'm pretty sure that the Coneheads haven't been officially announced yet, but that's the rule I was trying to keep myself to. That is my list. I'll post a picture of my list in the comments and then also the blank one so you can guess for yourself. But yeah, I'm excited to see what people come up with. Thanks for watching.